This is a 2022 Subaru Outback that's been throwing some error codes, P24BB and P24B9. These are codes for an evaporator issue. Unfortunately, it also shut down the eyesight system, which means the cruise control doesn't work as well. Dang near every light on the dash was on except for the airbag lights. Traction control issue, or the light was on anyway, so on and so forth, just full of lights. Unfortunately, that's the nature of a lot of these new cars. When there's an error with one thing, it shuts down other systems. Fortunately, it didn't shut off the air conditioning. Now, I thought it was going to be a warranty issue, took it into the dealer. Come to find out, mice are eating wires on a lot of these more modern cars. Mr. Subaru, his YouTube channel, he's commented on this within like the last year, having a lot of issues with mice eating it. So I lost this first portion of the video. Fortunately, this is the least important part. I'll start in as I'm underneath the car. Now, this evap code issue, or the evaporator on the car, is right underneath or right above the rear differential. So I backed it onto ramps and then I got underneath the car, obviously, and when you look up straight from the rear differential, you'll see the evaporator, and that's where this video starts in. Unfortunately, the dealer quoted like 500 bucks for a new harness, and then like 8 hours labor, if I remember correctly, to replace the whole harness. They did offer to cut off just the plug for the evaporator that the mice ate off the harness, but they still had to buy the $500 harness and splice that in, and that was going to save like 6 hours or 7 hours of labor. So it's an expensive thing to replace, but I was able to repair mine. The other thing I found that I think will be critical for people in the future, and if this works for somebody else, please put it down in the comments and I'll pin your comment to the top. I think the same plug the same harness for this evaporator is a harness that's available on a 2022 Toyota Camry, as well as other years of the Camry and other Toyotas. But I'm giving you one so you can search it yourself for the radar / sonar that's on those cars. That is something that car uses for cruise control and some of the safety stuff on it. And that is located directly behind the Toyota symbol on the front grille on cars equipped with that. And you can get those harnesses online for less than $10 in a lot of cases. So everything I saw about that plug and the harness looks identical to ours, are identical to the Evap on 2025 Outback. Unfortunately, the color of the wires will be different, but I will save you a lot of money even if you do have to replace the plug on yours. So now we'll get to the rest of the video. Okay, because I have fat fingers, I have to get this out of the way first. To get this out of the way, you can rotate this guy to that angle there and get a screwdriver under this tab and under that tab, and flex these retainers back a little bit so they come off of that. They lock into this ring right here, and that's how that comes out. So I rotate this, get a screwdriver under here and under here, and then that will come off, and that'll give me a little more room to get to the plug, because I've got to push right here on the plug to get it out. So I think I've got room for that now. So our plug is out. Again, I apologize for these cramped quarters here. It's just the nature of the beast with this repair. You can see what the end of that plug looks like, and there's a little notch here, here, and then over here as well. And that really does look like that sonar plug on a Toyota. I don't know if I'm going to get you a better picture of this or not, but This is where I'm at now, and now I'm gonna try and get this part of the harness out by tracing it to the next push pins and see if I can get it to dangle. So I've got everything unplugged. In behind this evap container, I'm behind the differential now, looking from behind. I can't access it with my hand through here, but you can see it here. There's a push pin behind that. I'm going to try and work some needle noses behind it so I can work it out. And then there's one more that direction. You can kind of see it there. And then you can't hardly see it very well, can you? There's two of them up in there. I'm going to try and work a needle nose behind it to get that thing to dangle down. Okay, we got it unplugged. We got two of the push pins out. And now this is dangling down low enough that we can get in there to de-pin this and repair those wires. It looks like I'm going to rotate this so you can see what colors go where, and you can see which one has a blank in it. So there's 7 wires in this thing. It looks like on the very end is a green one, and then up above it is a blue one that's broke. And then we've got some, looks like our yellow one there too has been chewed on. But we're going to try to de-pin this so we can restrip that and put a new pin on it, or just solder it back in place, or maybe make our own pigtail from here. You can see, hopefully, the back of one of these push pins that I had to get out, which I couldn't show on camera because it's just an impossibility. There is one of the 2 pins, the back, that I had to kind of pinch together to pull out, that retains the wire. One is up against this evaporator itself, the evaporator body. The other one is in that hole that you see right there. So that's as far as we're going to pull it out, because it looks like it might go into the body work from here. I don't know if it's accessible from the other side. We're not going to get that far into it, but we can get this down low enough to work with. Okay, to de-pin this, the first thing you got to do is get a pick of some sort and slip it underneath this white tab on the end and just lift up slightly. I'm going to link to a video up in the corner that shows this really well. There's a video with a similar style plug. It's a 10-pin plug rather than an 8, because this is not showing very well. And so I've put some shrink wrap over the damaged ones. I'm going to deal with those first. Basically, you pull that, I'm sorry, I didn't finish this. You pull that white pin plug, or that white plug, out just a little bit. You'll hear a snap. Don't tug on it too hard. And then you're going to need one of these de-pin kits where you stick that into that little hole, and then that particular pin will come out. And then I've been taking the damaged ones out and then putting some shrink, some of that, what the hell is that called? That shrink, the heat shrink over it, and reinserting it. Unfortunately, it obscures the colors because I don't have colors to match every one of these. But then I'll reinsert this one. We'll just go one at a time. And then to get those ones out that have been torn, I'm going to need like a pair of tweezers or tiny needle nose pliers to pull those out. So here I'm just working my way through it and repairing all these. All right, that was super tedious, but I got those resoldered and heat shrinked. I think we're ready to go back together after we retape this. They say you can put a little cayenne pepper in your electrical tape and that'll keep mice from eating it. I'll probably try that on this, since mice have already eaten it. They tend to go back to the same spots they've been before. So I'm going to get all this back together, and hopefully our check engine lights and all our errors have gone away. Everything's back together. I did have to reset the computer. I don't have a fancy like two-way communication engine computer. It's a Creator 123 or 123A or something like that. And I was able to erase the codes with it, and we're up and running again. Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful.